So, new game, obviously we're going to do some new settings. In the first game, you saw a little bit of Jensid's workshop. We saw a shot from Fantasia earlier. Well, in Fantasia, you only got to see that from the perspective that the director wanted you to see it from. And in the first game, you got to see it a little bit more in our introduction, our cinematic at the beginning of the game. But now you're going to get to explore it fully, see the whole thing, and go wherever you want in Jensid's workshop. This is a pretty magical place. And you will see this in our demo a little bit later on today. You'll return to some places that you visited the first time, but this is Oztown, one of the locations from the first game. But it's been changed because Wasteland, the world in which the game is set, has been hit by earthquakes and other sort of seemingly natural disasters. Whether they're natural or not, you'll have to find out. And also, we've built out the world, so Oztown is now a place that has multiple levels and places you can go exploring that you couldn't find and couldn't get to in the first game. And we're going to be exploring many new lands as well that you've never seen before. This one is based on Frontierland. You're not going to see this in the demo today. We're going to talk about some of the new lands over the next several months, but there is going to be a place based on Frontierland among others. Okay, so this is a little look at some of the locations that you'll see in the game later on today. It's very quick. Okay, we have several new characters, and again, I don't want to talk too much about it. This is just our announce event. Like I said, we just hit alpha. So we've got plenty of time to talk about the new stuff, but you will be seeing more of Hortensia. This is Oswald's girlfriend. You saw her just at the very end of the first game. Now she's a full character. We've got to cast the voice actress for Hortensia as well. The Gremlins are back in a much bigger role. And again, we've got to cast their voices. They've never spoken in a Disney film. And now they get to speak in a game for the first time. And one new thing, if you remember, we had blotlings, little cartoony enemies, and we had animatronic enemies called Beetleworks. Well, one of the big mysteries in the new game is they've gotten together. How did that happen? How do you deal with them? The Blotworks are part toon and part robotic, so you have to figure out how to deal with them. They're very dangerous and fun. Okay, we have a new story. It's a new game. We've got to tell a new story. But rather than tell you about the story, I'm going to show you the introduction and tell you that'll tell you the setup for the. Oh yeah, okay. A lot of people are worried about this. I want to tell everybody to relax. Okay. I've said before. I'll say again. We're making a musical. Okay. But don't worry about it. Okay. We have several songs. But it's not a performance game. I think a lot of people are misunderstanding what's going on. It's not about beat matching. It's not about singing into a microphone. There's no embarrassing yourself by dancing in front of your TV or anything. It's just at key moments in the game, characters are going to break into song to express how they're feeling and to communicate some interesting story elements. Okay, it's all in the cinematics. I'll tell you straight up, I have a lot of interesting, well, they're interesting to me. I have a lot of ideas about how to make music a more integral and interactive part of gameplay, but that's not what's happening here. They're not interactive, but there are some songs in here, and you'll see an example of it. If you don't like songs, escape past the introduction, I'm sorry, not the escape past the cinematic, and you don't have to listen to the song. Okay? And you can still enjoy the game. You'll disappoint me, but it's your game, do what you want, okay? So with that, I need people to turn their cameras off now. We're not quite ready to release this story. And by the way, just to be clear, all of the dialogue and music and songs will be translated into every language, so you won't be in English with subtitles. Okay, so that's where the game begins. But before I let you actually go out and play it, one of the big goals for the first game was to reintroduce a character, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, to the world. And so I want to tell you a little bit about where he came from and what we're doing with him that's different this time. He was created in 1927, by 26-year-old Walt Disney and his partner of iWorks. And for about 18 months, he was one of the most successful and popular film stars in the world. But then, as a result of this document right here, this is the contract Walt Disney signed with his distributor, and I know you can't read it, but that clause right up there, 15, says, you don't own the rights to this character, Mr. Disney, we do. The distributor owned the rights. And they said, you're fired, we own the character, go away. There's Walt, 27 years old now, going, what the heck do I do? I'm an animator without a character. And so he created, Mickey Mouse. We all know what happened. So Oswald lost to history, Mickey Mouse makes history, and Oswald is forgotten until 2006, when Bob Iger, the CEO of the company, went to the people who owned the rights to Oswald and said, we want Oswald back. It happened to be NBC, which is a television network in the United States. And they traded Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, traded Al Michaels, a human sportscaster, from ABC to NBC in exchange for the rights to a cartoon rabbit. So a human being traded for a cartoon character. It's like even if I made that up, you wouldn't believe me. Oswald came back into the family, the Disney family, in 2006, just in time for us to put him in Disney Epic Mickey. There's all sorts of stuff. I mean, to really capture the essence of the character, at Junction Point, we did a bunch of research. We went into the archives and found things like shooting scripts from Oswald cartoons and storyboards. I mean, if you want to know how the magic happens at Disney, or happened in 1928, this is it. That was a script. That's as much detail as they went into. And then they would storyboard things out like this. They would advertise things. We've looked at posters to try to capture the essence of this character. This is amazing. I mean, these are like the only licensed products. We saw this wonderful presentation earlier that shows all of the licensed products. 2 million Mickey things a day are sold. And poor little Oswald in 1928 really pioneered the world of licensing. Walt was a pretty sharp guy. And he sold the rights to a stencil set. There was an Oswald stencil set for kids. And there were Oswald chocolate bars. And that was it. It doesn't sound like much, but it really set the stage for everything that happened for Mickey later on. Oswald was always there first. I need you to turn your cameras. Oh, you can turn your cameras on. Sorry. That guy's a great little character. I mean, he deserves better than to be forgotten. And so everybody at Junction Point has sort of adopted him. It's almost like he's real to us, And we're going to make him a star. That's our job. And so we've given him a new role in the new Mickey game. We're doing two-player co-op. After why can't I play this on my console? The question I get asked most often is why can't I play with friends? You made a game for kids and adults, boys and girls, men and women. Why can't we play together? So we are going to deliver that. Now it's side-by-side couch multiplayer. It's full drop-in, drop-out. So Oswald is with you every step of the way. I told the team, don't do this, by the way. My team came to me and said, we want to do co-op AI. We want Oswald there using his unique abilities. Let me bring them again. They told me they wanted him using his unique abilities to help Mickey even in single player. So Oswald is right there every step of the way, but at any point, someone can sit down on the couch next to the person playing as Mickey, pick up the controller and start playing as Oswald, and then stop again, and the console just picks up and takes over immediately. Oswald and Mickey have completely different abilities. Mickey has, you can see here, Mickey has his paintbrush where he can draw and erase things using paint and thinner. Oswald has a remote control, which gives him power over electricity. So there are all sorts of electrical locks in the world which he can override. There are the Beetleworks, the animatronic enemies, and the Blotworks, actually, which he can either damage or he can now reprogram, take control of. So Oswald can now essentially turn robots into friends in the same way that Mickey can turn cartoon characters into friends. And so if you want, look, if you want to go through this game and fight everything and you know, just destroy everything you see, you can do that. But now, for the first time, thanks to Oswald, you can get through the game without ever fighting anything. You can turn everything in the world into a friend and not make this a really big combat experience. So, with that, I just did the wrong thing. Hold on, let me go. Went too far? We've got a little trailer that we put together.
In a once forgotten land, a courageous hero brought hope. But a new threat awaits. And a new ally will join his side. The power of the rush. To the power of two. Disney Epic Mickey, the power of two.
Now, enjoy. And I'll look forward to talking to some of you soon.